the New England Patriots, or the LA Chargers. Tom Brady and Philip Rivers played in the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. But the last time they met was January 2008. In both of those games, Brady and the Patriots came out on top. Question is, this time around, who is better? It's Mitch of the Bottom Line View here to answer that exact question. If you're new to the Bottom Line View and this series, we take a look at every position and evaluate both teams' talent. Then I come to a decision by tallying the score. This is not a prediction of who will win. We have other videos for that. This is purely judging the talent on both sides. Before I dive into the depth charts, subscribe to the Bottom Line View for more NFL vids like this, and Gronk spike the like button. Also, let me know in the comments below, who do you think is the better team? The Pats or the Bolts? Is this the year for Philip Rivers, or will Tom Brady squash his dreams once again? Let's kick it off with the quarterback position. Speaking on both of those quarterbacks, Tom Brady and Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers had a fantastic season this year. 4,308 yards, 32 touchdowns, just 12 interceptions, and a 105.5 passer rating. Philip Rivers has won one playoff game this year. It wasn't his best game. He did play a tough defense in Baltimore, only going for 160 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Philip Rivers has been great. He is great at maneuvering the pocket and finding different ways to throw the football. He always spreads it around to all of his targets. He's a big guy that's hard to take down, and he's very intelligent. He's also very cerebral in his quarterback play. But when you look at the other side in the Patriots and Tom Brady, you just have to give the edge to Tom Brady because it's January. Tom Brady is very difficult to beat in playoff mode. Tom Brady this past season threw for 4,355 yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a 97.7 passer rating. He is also 7-0 in games versus Philip Rivers. Tom Brady just knows how to get it done at home, in Foxborough, in the playoffs. So because of history, I can't go against Tom Brady, even though you would probably say during the regular season, Philip Rivers was probably the slightly better, more efficient quarterback. At the running back position, I am going to the Bolts, the Chargers, their combination of Melvin Gordon and Eckler. Now, Gordon, to me, is one of the 10 best running backs in the NFL. 885 yards on the ground, a 5.1 yards per carry, 10 touchdowns on the ground, also contributing through the air with 50 catches, 490 yards receiving, and 4 receiving touchdowns. He was also second on the team in catches, which not a lot of people talk about, but he's very big in the passing game for the Chargers. So is Austin Eckler, who caught 39 balls this season for 404 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. A lot of what the Chargers do is with their screen game and their short dump offs to their running backs in the passing game, and these two guys are a big deal in that facet of the game. They also can run it very effectively, though. Austin Eckler had a better yards per carry than Melvin Gordon, 5.2 and 3 rushing touchdowns, but only 554 yards. A lot of that coming in replacement for Melvin Gordon when he was injured. Both of these running backs are effective. They're different styles. Melvin Gordon is bigger, stronger, a little bit more powerful. He's just an overall bigger running back, but he also has breakaway speed. Austin Eckler is better side to side and probably a little bit better as a receiver. In my opinion, the Chargers are slightly better in this category just because they have a stud like Melvin Gordon who does it all very well. When you look at the Patriots have a collective running back core that's very effective. You look at Sony Michel, he's very effective on the ground, 931 yards, which was more than Melvin Gordon, 6 touchdowns, and a 4.5 yards per carry. James White is their receiving running back, catching 87 balls for 751 yards and 7 touchdowns, also carrying the football on the ground for 425 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 4.5 yards per carry. So both backs average the same yards per carry. Michel is more of an effective kind of bell cow running back, while James White is more of the third down pass catching running back. They also have Rex Burkhead, who's an effective third string, especially as a pass catcher, and a great fullback in James Devlin, who's involved also in the pass and run games a lot more than a lot of other fullbacks in the NFL. When you look at it, it's sort of close because of what the Patriots can do with all their different types of running backs, but overall, the Chargers with Melvin Gordon do get the edge in this category. Looking at the wide receivers, the Chargers have the better overall core of wide receivers. Now, the Patriots recently lost a lot of production with Josh Gordon not being able to play anymore for the football team, so that takes away a lot from their statistics and production and overall skill for the unit. And it would have been a lot closer if Josh Gordon was playing, but the Chargers are pretty clearly the better team in this category. Keenan Allen is a clear-cut number one receiver. He's a crafty route runner, and as Stephon Gilmore put it, he's just kind of different from everybody else. He's crafty in his routes. 97 catches, 1,196 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Mike Williams had 10 touchdowns on the season. He's a big red zone threat. Tyrell Williams, 41 catches, 653 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Travis Benjamin also contributes as their sort of gadget receiver. 12 catches, 186 yards, and 1 touchdown. He has more effect on the game than he does production. Looking at it, I always describe the Chargers receiving core as a basketball team. You look at Keenan Allen as the point guard, Mike Williams as the power forward, Tyrell Williams as a small forward, and then Travis Benjamin as sort of the speedy shooting guard. And to me, when I look at the Patriots, they sort of have a couple gadget guys in Cordarrelle Patterson and a little bit Philip Dorsett, but Dorsett has become a more well-rounded receiver this season with 32 catches, 290 yards, and 3 touchdowns, recently stepping up with Josh Gordon being gone, and he's been effective in his role and become a lot better route runner. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a few big plays in this game. When looking at Chris Hogan, he's kind of the deep threat for them. He has not had a great season this year, but he's still effective in this offense with 35 catches, 532 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But Julian Edelman is really the guy. He is the guy that the Chargers need to focus on. He's the guy that the Chargers need to stop. He had 70.4 yards per game this season, which is only 4 less per game than Keenan Allen. Remember, he was suspended for 4 games this year. So when looking at it, Edelman is a 1,000-yard, 100-catch type of guy in this league. He just didn't have all the games to play this year. But 850 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 74 receptions in 12 games. Now, Edelman is a really effective route runner. He plays both outside and in the slot. In the slot is where he's a little bit more effective, and they move him around a lot. He's also extremely tough to cover in man-to-man coverage. I'm giving this edge to the Chargers. At the tight end position, you have to go with the Patriots. Hunter Henry is back from injury, but how healthy is he? That's the question. Antonio Gates had 28 catches, 333 yards, and 2 touchdowns this season in replacement for Hunter Henry after getting the call out of retirement. He had 4 catches for 35 yards against the Ravens, and I thought was pretty effective in his role in that game in converting some big third downs. Gronkowski, 47 catches, 682 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Probably the worst season we've seen from Gronk since his rookie year. He's been very banged up, looks slower, looks like a worse player. He might be, he might not be. We'll see how he looks after the bye. But I still think the Patriots are better here because they are more effective in the running game, run blocking with both Gronk and Dwayne Allen. Gronk is also a big-time difference maker in a lot of big third-down clutch situations, even despite his slowed-down physical performance. I'm going to go with the Patriots. Looking at the offensive line, I'm also siding with the Patriots here. The Patriots' offensive line is super underrated, and that is because they have 2 fantastic guards. Joe Thuney, Shaq Mason. Shaq Mason was ranked number 1 by Pro Football Focus at the guard position this season, and Joe Thuney was ranked number 12. So they have 2 top 12 guards on their team. They also have a top 10 center in David Andrews and 2 very solid tackles with Brown and Cannon. The Patriots' offensive line can pass block very effectively, and they can also run block better than they've been able to in a number of seasons in New England. So I really like the Patriots offensive line in this game. When looking at the Chargers offensive line, it's probably one of the weaknesses of their football team, specifically at guard. Feeney, Schofield, not very good guards in pass protection, and the Patriots will look to take advantage of that. But overall, the Patriots offensive line is a lot stronger position by position, and I have to give them that edge. Looking at the interior defensive line, the big boys in the middle on defense, I'm also siding with the Patriots, although I almost went with the Chargers for their recent play against the Ravens. A lot of pressure was put on the front interior guys for the Chargers against the Ravens, being that they played a lot of bear fronts with a lot of big people in the middle of their defense to stop Lamar Jackson in the running game. Brandon Mebane is still injured, and we don't know if he's going to play. Other than that, though, I think the Chargers have a well-rounded unit. They have a lot of decent guys, but overall, I think the Patriots are a little bit stronger in their starting players. When you look at Lawrence Guy is ranked 10th overall by Pro Football Focus. Danny Shelton, 38th. He's very good in run support. Malcolm Brown is okay, and Adam Butler is primarily a pass rusher at that position. Overall, though, the difference between Lawrence Guy and everyone else at this position on both teams is a big one, and that's why I'm going with the Patriots in this category. I also like what the Patriots have looked like run defense-wise with Danny Shelton on the field lately. The edge position is a clear advantage for the LA Chargers. The LA Chargers have one of the best, if not the best, pass rush duo in the NFL. They did last year. This year, Joey Bosa missing a lot of time kind of hurt their stock, but Bosa has been great since coming back. Melvin Ingram was dominant against the Ravens. They also have Rochelle and Nwosu to kind of spell those guys and also play on big third down passing situations. This edge position for the Chargers is one of the best in the NFL and one of the deepest. Ingram can move all over the line. He can play linebacker, so can Bosa. Bosa's a little bit more traditional defensive end, but he can do it all as well. And this edge position for the Chargers is a clear advantage over the Patriots. The Patriots do have one really good edge rusher in Trey Flowers who can move inside as well and rush from that position, and he is a top 10 guy on Pro Football Focus at the position. But when looking at Dietrich Wise, Simon, Rivers, Claiborne, this is kind of a bunch of average players thrown together in a starting lineup. While when you look at the Chargers, you have two elite Pro Bowl caliber players. So I'm going with the Chargers. At linebacker, you have to side with the Patriots, really, because the Chargers don't play their linebackers very much, because a lot of them are injured, a lot of them are on IR. You look at Emmanuel and Pullard for the Chargers, they don't play very much, specifically against the Ravens. They only played like one snap all game. So that will probably change against the Patriots. I don't expect to see it as heavy in terms of defensive backs for the Chargers. But when looking at the Patriots, their linebacker play has improved through the course of the season. It started off a little bit rough. A lot of people were saying they're too slow, they're not athletic enough. But Dante Hightower and Kyle Van Noy have really provided a nice pair of linebackers on most downs. And then you throw in Landon Roberts for big rushing situations where he can stop the run better than a lot of other players at this position in the NFL. So I'm going with the Patriots here for the versatility of their linebackers and also just playing more. While I love the Patriots safeties, they are very good. Devin McCourty is one of the best ranging covering safeties in the NFL. Deron Harmon is a clutch producer for the Patriots, and Patrick Chung is great in the box. You look at the Chargers safety play, and it has been absolutely spectacular because not only are they playing safety, but they are also playing linebacker. 7 defensive backs played against the Ravens on Sunday. No other team does that, and that is because no other team has the versatility at this position and trust in the run game that the Chargers do for these safeties. You look at Phillips, Adai, James, Jenkins, all 4 of these players are very effective in their own role. Jenkins plays more of a free safety spot. James can basically do everything, and he's a young stud. Adai and Phillips can play more of an in-box role and can be physical against tight ends and in the running game and can play like linebackers, and I expect to see that against the Patriots. And this is a great matchup because both of these teams have excellent safeties, but Derwin James has been the ultimate huge difference maker at this position for the Chargers in all that he can do. He flies around the screen and he does everything very effectively. And this is why you have to give the Chargers the advantage, not only for their versatility, but for Derwin James's playmaking ability. Going to the cornerback position, I really love both of these secondaries. I think both of these secondaries are excellent. When looking at the Chargers, they have very good positional rankings by Pro Football Focus for every corner. Looking at Hayward, he ranks 18th, ranked first last season. Desmond King ranked second, Davis ranked 39th, and Williams ranks 87th. Now, all 4 of these guys will play. Primarily, it's Hayward, King, and Davis overall, but all 3 of them are effective in man and zone coverage. They mostly play a cover 3 Seattle scheme, but they can mix it up with some man. When looking at the Patriots, it's primarily a man scheme, and the Patriots have the corners to play a lot of it. You look at Stephon Gilmore, he was ranked the #1 corner in the NFL and also elected to the first team All-Pro team in the NFL. In my opinion, this season has been the best corner in football. Then you look at J.C. Jackson, who has come on as of late as a great addition to this secondary, having excellent games against top-notch receivers like Juju Smith-Schuster, for example, ranking 27th by Pro Football Focus. Jason McCourty ranks 5th by Pro Football Focus, and he is their 3rd string corner, and Jonathan Jones is 67th. All 4 of these guys are good in man coverage specifically. I am going to side with the Patriots because I think they're relied upon more in this defense to make more of a difference. And specifically, they have one shutdown corner in Stephon Gilmore that the Chargers don't really have. The Gilmore is absolutely shut down, while the Chargers have great corners, but they mostly play a zone scheme. The Patriots play more of a man scheme. So I'm going to go with the Patriots here, also with their depth being that McCourty and Jones are also very solid corners. Looking at the kicker position, the Chargers I'm actually going to give this to, despite Gostkowski being one of the greatest kickers we've seen over the past 10 years or so. Gostkowski has had some rough points in playoff history over the last few seasons. He has memorably missed the Super Bowl extra point last season, also an extra point against the Broncos in the 2015 AFC Championship game. While Badgley has not had a lot of experience, he was 15 for 16 during the year, and also 5 for 6 on field goals against the Ravens, which he was counted on to be very effective against the Ravens in a very windy stadium. So overall, I'm going to go with the hot hand and the hot leg in Badgley to take it over Gostkowski at kicker for the Chargers, which is very rare. Hopefully this doesn't backfire on me during the game. Special teams, I will side with the Patriots. Now, this is going to be a fascinating conversation at kick return and punt return because you look at Cordell Patterson, who's probably the best kick returner in football, and honestly, Desmond King has been one of the best, if not the best punt returner this season in football. So it's going to be very fun to watch who has better returns, who is more effective in their role. But overall, as a coverage unit, as an overall special teams, and a lot of blocked kicks. And we saw the special teams of the Chargers get blocked against the Ravens, so that's not very good for them. But the Patriots overall have been effective as a special teams unit for a number of years, and Belichick really stresses it. So I'm going to go with special teams for the Patriots. And the head coaching position is, of course, going to the Patriots, as they have the greatest coach of all time. Anthony Lynn is probably, one of the better ones this season and might even be the coach of the year, but ultimately you have to give it to Belichick because he's the greatest coach of all time. And that ends the who's better for the Patriots versus the Chargers. Ultimately, the Patriots do win this who's better challenge, but I think both of these teams are very talented, and it's going to be an excellent football game. This is not me picking the Patriots to win, but this is me saying the Patriots are probably the overall more talented team. Who do you guys think is going to win between the Chargers and the Patriots, and who do you think is better, more talented? Let me know in the comment section below. It's Mitch at the Bottom Line View. Thanks for watching, and peace out.